You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Yo, what up, my beautiful people? How you guys are doing? This is the Comic Crusaders podcast, and welcome to a brand new electric episode, because today I'm amped up. I'm going to be vibing, because we have an amazing writer on the scene, but not just that, an amazing publicist, a person that even helped me on my journey early on in the days, and she's back for the second time. She was here back when this show was at 114. My gosh, and now I'm over 500 episodes in. It's been 4 years since she's been on. The last time she was on, she was talking about her amazing book about her journey with TBI, traumatic brain injury, heavy metal headbang. But now she's back with a sequel to that, a much more even powerful book that, further is the story of her journey called Song Over Bones from Oil Water Press. Let me introduce the one, the only, my friend, my big homie, the legend herself, Melissa Meszaros. How you doing, homegirl?
I'm good now that I'm hanging out with you.
Hey, so glad to have you back. Wow, 4 years since the last time we spoke on this program.
I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah, I know. We see each other once in a while to comment to each other, but you're like running around, buzzing around, because you're dealing with so many clients that we see. I'm not gonna name them all, but let me tell you that you have hints. If you look up the HPR hashtag on X, I kind of like always try to show support for who she raps, because she shows love in a great way for all types of creators. So I appreciate that. So Mo, we gotta get into this, yo. We gotta get into this. Welcome back for sure. Since your last visit, let's talk about it. What's been your biggest shift in your creative process as you worked on this new book right here called Song Over Bones?
I've actually been able to write. I didn't intentionally write Heavy Metal Headbang, which is the precursor to this book. It just, because I was journaling throughout heavy metal, and I was just like basically utilizing that as a template. Didn't intend for it to be a book. This is, Song Over the Bones is like consciously a written book. That's the difference. But it picks up right where the last one leaves off, but it reads like its own story.
Oh, gotcha. Now you have your thoughts together rather in this book, as opposed to just pieces of the story of what you were going through at the time.
Yeah.
Again, folks, let them know, for those who are just a little bit unawares of what your journey was like and what may have transpired in the past that led to that first book. Can you let folks know, if you don't mind, about that TBI journey?
Yeah. So I was hit by a car in a crosswalk on my way to see Judas Priest in 2018.
I hate to hear that every time.
I know. But honestly, like, everybody asked me, how do you feel about it now? And I said that was transformative. And at first it was extremely negative, because I spent, 3 or 4 years recovering, just getting my bearings. And that's what that first book was about, is going through the recovery process, the legal process. I had no sense of identity. I didn't recognize my own face. But then, spoiler alert, at the end of the book, my house burns down.
Yeah.
But I had realized
similar paths minus the accident.
Yeah, minus the accident, but that kind of catches everyone up to speed. So, and you and I talked about, fires and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Time. You've lost a lot more than I did, unfortunately. But again, look at your resilience and how. That's what I said. This is why I admire you, because it's not just as a friend, but I do admire you, because I see you, like, you've gone through so much adversity, this accident, that loss of your home and your chickens.
But the chickens are still alive, as far as
you found some survive, yeah, right.
Yeah, they survived, and they're happily living.
Chicken survivors, but they said we ain't getting Kentucky Fried tonight, baby.
They know, right? Oh, that's good. Yeah. You got it.
So, all right, Mama, talk to me about here. What's the biggest myth about TBI recovery that you want to bust with this particular book?
Oh, don't hate me for this. Uh, and for clients, forgive me, which, I'm about to say something, but the question I get asked the most is, is does your sex drive change
Oh,
after a TV? Because there's people who, with depending on where they're hit in their head, they tend to have a hyperactive sex drive, and I have heard.
interesting.
I know, but this is a question I get asked the most, and I think it's odd that I would get asked that. But like, creators have asked me, people who are writing about TBIs, who are writing other like
What kind of,
fiction
I
stories
mean,
about
if
TBIs.
they're males, I think they're being pros. Like, let me ask you this question to see what
They're always male.
motherfuckers. You better fucking stop being fresh with my
I
homie.
I know. It's like he's being fresh out there. No, but they like are really interested in it and use it as research. And people are writing about TBIs from a fictional perspective. More than one person has asked me that.
That's crazy. So
I
that's a real
know.
thing, though.
Huh?
But that's a real thing, though.
Apparently it is. I don't know anybody where that's changed, but it just depends on which part of your head gets hit, apparently, and how badly your head gets hit. And I talk about that in heavy metal too. It's like
Now
not
I'm
every.
interested. I'm really interested in which part of your brain is connected to your private part that just says ding a ling. Jesus Christ. The
Yeah,
imagination is
the
going.
gravitas that people have.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. All right. So tell us a moment in the writing process where you felt like you were truly kind of singing over the bones, if you will.
Oh wow. Okay, not to. I think that there's a difference between uh, cultural appreciation here, and that's really what I tried to focus on. And the theory or the myth of Song Over the Bones comes from this old native tribe myth called La Loba. And basically, the book starts off. I'm going through some things. It is a nonlinear narrative. It works kind of the same way, but it's gotten much more tighter than heavy metal was. I was driving my car one day, and weirdly enough, you get hit by a car, and then I'm driving my car one day, and a wolf runs across my car, and it was a Mexican gray wolf, and I was like, was that a dog? And I was in the middle of the desert, so I was like, oh no, and I pulled over to the side. I called my best friend. I was like, I think a wolf just ran from my car. She goes, oh my god, it's your spirit animal, and I was like, oh, not this woo woo stuff. Not the woo woo stuff. I'm so against it. At the time, I was like super against it. So I started doing like these researches about like what does that mean, the Mexican gray wolves. I found the myth of La Loba, and it actually is a very interesting story because it's about this woman who lives in the desert, and she collects the bones of the wolves that are left behind, and when she sings over them, they're resurrected as their true self.
Oh shit, word. Yeah,
Yeah.
my brothers and I, that's how we connect. I mean, look at me. Don't I look like a fucking wolf sometimes? Jesus Christ. I can't wait. I can't wait to be in a werewolf movie or some shit. Let's go, baby.
I could see that. Oh god, it'd be so good.
Let's go. I listen.
Practice.
All right. So let me ask you here, because this book right here is a deep mix of rock, grit, but also healing, right?
Yeah.
So, what's that one song that was your personal soundtrack, if you will, while writing this? Getting you into your vibe.
Um, well, there were a few, but the two off the top of my head, and I did name all of the chapters off of songs that I was listening to. So
Yes,
it's like a collective set.
hey,
Yeah.
these are folks. That way you can buy this beautiful book. Let me show you this cover right here because I mean, look how dope that cover is. That shit is fire.
Thank you.
I love the artwork on this book. I mean, like, was that is that you? Is that you got that in your back now? What the heck
No,
is going
I don't have that on my back. No. But like conceptually, I wanted to convey like, it's like a grunge aesthetic more than anything.
It's
Um,
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted to capture like the essence of being in two places at once, one mentally and one physically,
Mm.
and just
Mm.
having that sense of self distance and lostness. And I think that they did a fantastic job in the cover. But yeah, like going back, the two songs. Number one is "Say Hello to Heaven" by Temple of the Dog. I listened to that like on a loop for probably 2 years. But the biggest one, as I was going through like the fire and the loss, and we can get into what the book is really about, because it's not about the fire. It's just a precursor to what really happened. I was listening to "Seaweed" by a band called The Gits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's get into that, because I did want to ask you about your approach to your vulnerability and writing. Evolve with the second book compared to your first. You did open up. I feel a lot more.
I did. It was very hard because I was writing in real time. I wrote this entire book in real time. It took me about 3.5 years. There were 22 different versions of it. 22.
What?
Yeah, there were 22
Jeez.
different versions of it.
You have 22 little black and white notebooks that are all different.
Well, in the not to make a spoiler, but like it wasn't even done when it.
You created your own multiverse. I'm thinking over here.
It's like the never-ending story. That's what it feels like. It feels like I'm like writing myself in the never-ending story, like Bastion. But I know that's such a nerd reference, but still.
No, don't be killing no horses, please.
No, everybody's so traumatized by that.
Yeah, I saw a cosplayer that just has the horse and he puts it down and he acts it out. I'm like, bro, what are you doing right now? You brought me back when I was a kid. You're breaking my heart. Stop it. Stop it. I'm 50 years old. You're fucking gonna make me cry in the middle of a fucking convention. How the fuck?
Oh my god, I would pay to see that actually. Not you crying, but like the horse. Watching you watch the horse.
You would pay for both, actually, Melissa. Let's be honest. You want to put that in your next book. And then in my next book, I was at a convention and America happened to be crying when he was watching.
So true. So true. But yeah, the writing process. So like I was writing everything in real time, and to be absolutely transparent, and I said this in another podcast as well. I was drinking really heavily. There was a time where I was drinking really heavily. I did, get help for that, and I'm good now. But I would
say to you, even sharing that with me when we were friends, and I'm on my journey too. I slowed it down a whole lot, but on a Friday, especially with good news, I am celebrating.
That's good. That's a good way to, because you never want to throw gasoline on the fire, and that's what I learned. Yeah. But I was coping with so much that it was kind of like an escape. And once I realized it was a problem, I did address it immediately. So
how did you, so with that, for folks that are listening, because I know a lot of writers go through that, especially during the journey of COVID, for example, and a lot of people still haven't gotten over that. Like, so how did you recognize the point that you said, okay, I need to get out of this? And where did you know how to look for help?
Well, it was kind of an ongoing process where I realized it become a pattern. And I write about this in one of the opening chapters where I, was holed up in Olympia, Washington. And it's like every single day I would get up early, I would work. I'd get up really early, I'd do my work day. But I was working on East Coast hours on West Coast time because I really cared about the bar opening. That was all I cared about. And I did my job. And I had a strict regimen where I take out $20. And I the bar, the drinks were like $3, $3.50.
Yeah.
Happy hour. So I knew how much I could drink, and I knew once that was my money was gone, I was done. Yeah. But every single day, waiting for the clock and getting my $20 bill.
And excited to take out that 20, that's a problem.
That's when you realize it's a problem. That's absolute. And I was like, wow, I'm doing this every day. I'm looking like my ATM bill because it was cash only. Anyway, so it kept me regulated.
Like out here, so you use that ATM, it ain't just really $20. It's $23.50 or $25, depending on the ATM.
Yeah. Yeah. So
the ATM plus the bartender.
Yeah, the ATM plus the bartender. That's exactly what it was. But I would sit there and I would just be writing how I felt in real time. Like I think that one of my favorite passages from the book, I remember writing intoxicated, and it's there's no filter, but it was so poetically written that I didn't go back and change
wait, I'm impressed here. You trying to tell me that when you wrote it was still legible while you were intoxicated? Or were you talking into your thing and you understood?
No, I would because I did write some notes on my phone.
Okay.
And the way that I write is very bizarre because I'll have an open like Word document on my phone and I'll be writing, or I'll do like voice notes while I'm driving just to remind myself of
Yeah.
things, and then I'll go back and rewrite them. And the structure is another thing that I work over down the line, but like a lot of that stuff that was written in real time, the reason why it is painful to read, because some people said this is a really hard read, this is really dense, and it's very emotional, and it's set against like landscapes and emotions, and there's this clash that just makes it so somber. And I said that was my goal, like to make people feel exactly what I was feeling, and I think that I executed it pretty well because it depressed a lot of people. But it's getting good reviews, and I'm very excited about that.
You're not thinking you did it. You did do it. Come on, man. I hate that type of talk. You done did it. It's out there. Everybody's loving it because you did do a good job. Because again, you're putting yourself out there, and that's what it is. Because you've been so open, if you will, about your TBI journey.
Mhm.
So, what was the most cathartic part of turning that journey, if you will, into art?
Uh, wow. It was when I realized that drinking wasn't cutting it, be hiding from everything wasn't cutting it, and trying to find a sense of home after losing my home and losing my partner. That traveling when I moved to the East Coast, and everything's so close together, and you can get in your car and you can drive around, and I made an effort to kind of go from famous grave sites, from like musicians.
I see your journey on Insta, which is pretty dope. I'm like, yo, what the heck? Oh wow! I mean, impressed. Like, yeah, you bugging. This is dope. What the fuck? I
Yeah.
open my I gotta make the time. You see, I'm not gonna say I wish I had the time because I do. I have to make the time to do what you're doing. That's what I have to do.
Yeah, and even like
Folks, because everybody has the time. You have to make the time.
you have to make the time, definitely. And it started like back when I was living in Olympia, and I would go to like Kurt Cobain's house, or I would go see Andy Wood from Mother Love Bone at his cemetery. And then I went to see Chris Cornell when I was in Hollywood. And I kind of did it like a Jenga thing where I was taking pieces of other people's, they were all friends, and they moving like pieces of the grave sites around, or like it's like, hey, this person's still here, like doing like this. It was like a spiritual thing for me to like connect all these people, and then moving to the East Coast and going to see Mia Zapata from the Gits in Louisville, and then going to see Elvis and Johnny Cash, and there was, it just really put me back together because I'm not focused on recovery. I'm focused on forward movement of
Of
some
course.
kind. Yeah.
Here you go, baby. Exactly. Listen, you're fine. Let's move forward. Let's keep on this journey where I'm okay. I hear
Yeah.
you on that. Right, I preach, baby. This is Preacher Meszaros in the building right here. I'm telling you, that is some truth. It is. You don't worry about. Listen, you're fine. Let's keep fucking fighting forward. I ain't stressing the now. I'm worried about mañana. Let's make it happen, baby.
But
Um,
you tend to get lost,
yeah.
Sometimes you get so pushed down and you're so stuck in your emotions and the current state, and you just get this paralysis. And, everywhere that I was living, I was hiding. So I'm like, why am I hiding? Hey, don't hide.
Hey!
Take my own advice,
You
right?
type shit over here. That's
Yeah. I forgot we did that the last time. But yeah, once I started like finding reason to have momentum, and I really started thinking about all the things that meant something to me, and music being a grounding point, just like it was in heavy metal, this takes it to the next level. And it wasn't even intentional again.
yeah.
But
That's why music was your first love, and then then you came into the comic scene, and now it's like you're showing a representation of love of both in this journey. And I love seeing it because that's my shit too. I'm from that generation. I love both. You cannot make me choose between both. I would rather get shot.
I agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so talk to me. How did your experience in the music industry now further influence yourself since starting over with Song Over the Bones?
Oh, it's just writing. Like I said, it's like the never ending story. And the thing is, my writing uh, has really allowed me to step foot in the doors that didn't, I don't know, the veil's been thinned basically. Because of my writing and the things, the music I write about, the people that I wrote about are reading it,
Nice.
and it's so crazy.
The
And it's
doors are
such,
opening, right? The people you were fans of are the ones who are fans of you now, right?
yeah,
I love
yeah.
it. Man.
I
You deserve it. Your journey has been incredible. Listen, for I'm telling you, you gotta follow this young lady. Like very and like even before anything of that happened, I knew this young lady, and that's what's great. Like she disappeared on me, and I was sad. I was like, what did I do for a minute, you know? And then I found out someone told me, and then when I saw her return, it was like, oh shit, the Phoenix coming up like an X-Men and shit. Whereby, let's go, Mel. And she's been kicking ass ever since. So again, she has a wonderful story of resilience and coming through. So this young woman over here is very, very inspirational,
Thank
and I'm
you.
proud to call her a friend. Now, let me ask you here. We know you are a master of wordplay, baby. Hey. So, are there any fun puns or double meanings in the book that you like to share? I'm pretty sure you were taking, hey, you're probably having some fun over here, inside jokes, anything you wanna like, Easter
Fun
egg or
puns
tease.
and meanings. Oh wow. Um, I don't know. I really don't know.
Listen,
Puns
I
and
think that
meanings.
we all take shots at someone or something making a joke unintentionally as we write. Because I know I've done that. And,
Well,
and then I stop for a minute. I said, I know what I'm doing here. I gotta stop because they're gonna know what the fuck I'm saying.
I have to look through the book. There,
What book? Wait a minute. Show me that book. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, look at that.
yeah,
Show me the spine. I want to show people that it is self porn. Look at that. Look at that sexy spine. Look at that back
yeah.
with a great picture right there. Hey,
But
the one
like,
I use. That's so dope. Look at
yeah,
that.
it's
See
all
the
there, and it's
first one? How
it's
many pages?
it's 160 some. It's a short read, 150 some, but it's on pulp paper.
Oh,
You know,
Pope.
and
Oh,
pulp
you went
paper.
OG. My man,
Yeah.
the new Eminem has gone Pope,
It's
baby.
pulp, and that I when I got the galley, I was like, "Oh, it's a pulp! This is the greatest day of my life."
Yeah.
I was so excited about it. But like they
Paper.
even, the thing that I loved about my publisher paying attention to so much detail is like they use like the Melvin's font
Hold
for
on.
each one of the title chapters. So
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah,
Look at
they use like the Melvin's font, and they were really thinking about the details that went into this, which I thought was really really
oh,
cool. So
that is dope.
yeah.
Man,
Yeah, but the
I love
paper's so great. So great.
I cannot wait to get my own
I
copy of that. Like,
have to send you one.
yeah, no, you don't gotta send me one. We either gonna meet at New York, San Diego. I know you're gonna go to one of those.
Oh, we got a reading scheduled in New York.
Oh, word. So let's do New York. I'll be there. Let me know when. I'll be there the whole fucking week. And in San Diego, I'm gonna be there.
You're going to San Diego this year.
I'm confirmed. I got my pass, the tally. Mama, what you want to do? Let's chill. Hey, Mega's coming to LA. I'm in San Diego, and I'm about to cause a new earthquake in that motherfucker, baby.
It's like the 1 year I'm not going. I went
Oh,
last
you
year.
suck, baby.
I know, because
Oh,
I know, and the Marriott Marquis and the Margarita
all right, but
Bar.
no worries. We're gonna do New York.
We'll
Don't
do New York.
worry. And we're gonna have fun, and get to meet everybody that in your new circle. I can't wait. I seen the pictures. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna
Those
meet. I can't
pictures,
wait to meet
those
people in your
pictures have
circle.
gotten me in so much trouble. I don't know why. I mean, I know why
Hey,
because
you know why it is? Your boss. That's why.
you want to hear some dirt.
Uh-oh.
And what do you want to know what happened this morning? Um, so just to be clear, it's not what people think it is. The emoji had people all messed up. I'm not correcting anybody though.
Wow,
Uh,
I love it.
uh, an ex of mine who doesn't follow me decided to post congrats underneath it. And I was like, what? Like, I haven't talked to you. You don't follow me. So obviously you made it's such a pain. It's such a pain. And there's a bigger story behind that, and it's going into the next book that I'm writing.
You already got a new story going because you know what?
Yeah.
Thank everybody for the inspiration. That's what we got to do.
Well, this book doesn't really it doesn't. I mean, I'm working out the details now. They're all in my head. And it's going to be the last part of. I didn't realize this was going to be a series,
Oh, I
but
love it.
this is going to be the last part of the series, and it is actually a good story. It's a happy story. I mean, there's some painful parts to it, but where this book ends, that's how it always goes. Where this book ends, another story begins, and that has a lot to do with the things that we're talking about.
That's it. But hey, there we go. There we go. She's doing her balls and her teeth. Oh my God. I need to open the Comic Crusaders strip club with just writers fully clothed, just teasing stories on stage and leaving. That's it. Like, oh, that's the strip club. You're fully dressed.
No brain injury required.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah. Like, oh my, I need to know the story. No, you got to buy it next month. Oh no. You know.
No, I know. Well, it's.
Give me the
I mean,
story.
honestly, you see. Well, okay. You want the whole story? We're gonna go on record for the first time. Okay.
Well, again, the gossip, yeah, on TMZ style over here. Oh shit.
So the book ends heavily talking about the Gits, and I wasn't done with the manuscript. It wasn't finished at all, and I was like, "How I can't turn this in? This is garbage." I hated how it ended, and then all of a sudden, after 30 years of the Gits not putting out music, not playing music because of Mia Zapata's untimely death, Sub Pop decides to put out a new 30th anniversary pressing, or just a repressing of one of their albums, and put out all the other albums digitally. And they decided that they're going to do this public talk at KEXP, and I was like, this is my calling. Like, I need to go to this event and just like, I'm going to get my edits done. I never thought that I was going to be able to write that into the narrative at the end of the book. So the thing is, because it's I think that band, the Gits, is definitely the through line through a lot of this. And because Mia Zapata wrote music about resilience and the desire to fight and drinking and just persevering, and she has so much power, and she's known for her vocals and her power. And I just really used that as like my sword to get through everything when everything was difficult. So anyway, I'm in Seattle and doing this thing, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so inspired. I have to put this in the book. This has to be the end. One draft was done. I made no edits on the ending. So the side story to that is that their drummer had just put out a book called Mia Zapata and the Gits. And I actually used it as a tool to just kind of cross-reference anything that I wrote about them. And the thing is, if you open one of my books and his book side by side, you could not tell who wrote that sentence.
Really?
And I'm like as I'm reading his book, it is about the band and the legacy. It doesn't talk about all the heinous stuff that you read online about the history. And I had reached out to him and I was like, hey, do you want to give me a blurb? And I'm going to put it on the book jacket. And I did.
Hold on. Put that baby back up right there.
Yeah.
That off. Yeah.
Yeah. So Steve Moriarty gave me a blurb. And we started talking about writing. And it turns out that the Gits were playing a surprise show in February. And we started talking on the phone and we hit it off, and like we think on the same wavelength, which I don't, when it comes to writing, I don't, I'm surrounded by comic book writers and artists and journalists all the time, but like since I left graduate school, I'm not around prose writers. So we like kind of forged a relationship through our writing just by reading each other's books, and we felt like we knew each other even before we met. Nice. So yeah, it was really cool. And then he was like, oh, I want to produce your audiobook and all this stuff. And I was like, okay. Next thing you know, I'm like flying down to San Francisco. We flew down to LA to hang out, and then he's flying up here, and I'm flying back down to San Francisco, and it's just kind of bizarre to have a band that meant so much to me growing up. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is one of the examples of like when people see that you love their work and they see you as a peer and not as a fan, it changes everything. And it's not even that, but my relationship with the Melvins has changed. It's like they're a part of my life now. Yeah, it's like, oh, you come to the show, I'll put you on the guest list.
It's like when I was in New York Comic Con last year, I was helping my man Blind Adam for the retail event, right? And Tom McFarlane is coming up the line. He see me. He doesn't say, "Hey, guy." He says, "Hey, Al, what's up? How you doing?" Everybody looked at me like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
I love that. You get recognized everywhere we go.
Father was popping, baby, and he kept moving. But the fact that he knew me and everybody looked at me like, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
No, but like you even said, when we were in New York the last time, was it last year? No, it was the year before, I think. And you're like, I get recognized. People saw me.
When I was in San Diego, like he did some event, and I was on the sidelines. I said, "Yo, what up, Dave?" And he looked at me. He goes, "Oh shit, Al." I said, "Wow, he remembered me," and he just came, ran, took a picture, and yeah, people in the crowd, "Yo, are you so and so?" "Yeah, what up, Wepa?" I'm like, "What the fuck? This is hilarious." I got all races saying Wepa in the world, and I dig it. Yeah, let's go, baby, let's go.
I'm into it.
Now, let me ask you something here. What role did community or collaboration, if you will, play in your journey from injury to published author? Because again, you've been so helpful in the community and just established out there. Like, how did that lead into your creative side, if you will, if at all?
I feel really supported, even though like I'm supporting other people. I'm kind of I'm bridging the gap between creators and journalists and companies and industry. Like I always felt supported. When I had my head injury, they helped me get money for my medical bills. When my house burned down, people rallied together and raised money to help me get furniture, and like it's always been the community. There's a community aspect to it. And I think where I can bridge the gap with, my writing is that, I understand it's not like a peer situation. I don't view myself in that light. Like I see this as a separate entity, but they know that I do this other thing. That's what they know. But I don't know. Everybody has this graciousness and they are supportive. Like you're being supportive right now. Like they like, oh yeah, that's so cool that you would do that.
No, don't be so humble. Again, I listen. All right, guys, you guys, again, I come from the press perspective, so I see how Mel works in the back end for so many different companies. So it's like, like she is someone that's out there helping so many people. I mean, y'all don't know, and it's I think more people need to know who you are, how you help, what I mean, and how you bring information about independent projects. Because again, these are the future stars. Because I know every independent person ever bought me has become like an A-lister, and then you start sending me A-listers too. Like you're a boss.
Thank you.
It's crazy, yo. Mel don't play this. I'm telling y'all, folks. It's like follow this lady, get these books, learn what she's gone through, and be impressed. Like, how does she still do it? This is crazy to me. Like, God bless, yo. For Mel, as a friend, I'm just telling you, it's like, you've gone through so much. Like, even my ex, gone through some shit, pulmonary embolism, but recovered from that. She's back in her game with media. I'm proud of her. And to see you, like, you stepped up from your TBI, you fucking came back and like nothing happened. Like, motherfuckers, I'm here again. What you gonna
do? Yeah, because you have two choices. You can get better or you can stay the same. You can be mad about what happened, but what good is that going to do? Agreed. It's not going to change anything. And I think that, if you're persevering and you're moving forward, I did it somewhat I don't want to say it was unconsciously, because that's what the writing was for, to just kind of get rid of all the bad feelings and synthesize them and all of it, and I think that the level of perseverance needs to be there. But I see that with every single person I work with. These people, these are passion projects, and that's how I view every single person and project and comic book and whatever, like card games, you name it. Like, people are really putting themselves into that.
Rings, you do it all, girl. Hell yeah. Now let me ask you something here, because I think it's important, because based on your journey, these two wonderful books, this new book, right? Because the book's out now, correct?
The book comes out October 2nd.
Oh, comes out. Oh my god, we're getting teased like a motherfucker here, folks. All the way in October. So listen, don't give me no excuse. You got no money, mi gente. This is coming. It's October, which means you can have money. So save $1 a week, $2. Well, you know what? Save $3 a week to October. You could afford the book, easy peasy, and then get a signed copy and all. Don't be fucking around. Don't give me no excuses. $3 a week ain't shit. Stop fucking around, my Crusaders. I want to see this happen. She needs to have the #1 book on New York Times. That's what I want to see. Now, I gotta ask you, for anyone that is going through a tough time, Mel, what's one takeaway from your book that you'd like them to hold on to?
The only way out is through. It's true.
So it is. That's what I learned too. You know my journey as my friend, and I too have been through it. And yeah, go through it, and you will get through it.
And it makes you stronger.
It does. I mean, hopefully not meaner.
Yeah.
You know, that's the divide there. Does it make you stronger where you get mean, or does it make you strong where you're going to be humble, understand? And that's the great divide amongst the people. Me, I have learned to recover and understand. So I'm on the side of love, baby. So now, if recovery story was a rock anthem, what would be the chorus that defines it?
What? What kind of? Can you repeat that question? Dang.
I want to. I know you're a music fan. If your recovery story was a rock anthem, what would be the chorus that defines it?
The chorus, "Mama, I'm coming home."
Oh, yeah, baby, let's go. I wish I could play the song, but you two are probably fucking. I cannot allow this.
You can sing it. You just sing it.
To be interrupted when I'm.
I can sing it for you. You want me to sing for you?
Go ahead. Go bring out your guitar. I see you. You're messing with instruments too. So talk. Let's. You know what? Yes, let's get a little geeky side of Mel outside of the comic and stuff. Like, she also likes to fiddle around with instruments and singing. I see you. So, where does that come from? And are you teaching yourself, or you going through classes? Talk to me.
No, I've been self-taught. I started playing drums when I was in 5th grade. I started playing guitar when I was 8. All self-taught. It's so crazy. I quit drums because I wasn't good at it. But after my head injury, I was able to pick it back up, and now I do it a lot better than I used to.
Oh shit! Now you're fucking about.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can play piano too. So that's the stuff with the head injury. Like I had time, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going to do this now. But I just dabble. I'm the master of none. When it comes to music,
I guess it. So am I. The jack of all trades, master of none, but nonetheless, fuck around with me, I could beat you, son. Let's go.
That's a good one.
I don't give a fuck. Now, lastly, what's next on the horizon, Ma? I mean, after this book, is it more music, more writing? Is it something completely unexpected? Are we getting some movies? Are we going to see you on Lifetime, Tubi, something? What's going on?
Oh, well, Heavy Metal was optioned for 2 movies. one for a documentary, one to be turned into a rom-com, but that's kind of gone silent, like just across the board, just because of the stuff that's going on in Hollywood right now. I'm going to finish this book, do the audiobook, read the audiobook, and I want to be done writing for a while, and I do want to go back to music and start working on music full time, because I used to record music back in, the early aughts, but I stopped.
Let's talk about my, because now that I've had time, I've always loved music. I've gotten back into writing my poetry that I turned into music, and I've been having a hell of a time. And my family, friends, and strangers, and be like, what are you doing here? I'm like, yeah, I'm just having fun, but I'm just letting myself go for a change. Like, fuck it.
Have that freedom. Just celebrate it. Nobody has to hear it,
Yeah.
or put it out there or don't. It's just about expression.
Yeah, it
freedom to do so.
Mel, I appreciate the say. Now, Mel, are you doing any signings anywhere with this book when the plans are, or anything going on, at least with the current book that's out there, the Heavy Metal Headbang?
I haven't done anything with heavy metal for a while. Right now, we're working on a dual signing in New York City at I think it's October 9th in Sodo at Blue Stockings Collective. And we're going to be doing, Steve and I.
We passed by when we were at New York Comic Con.
Yeah, that was like over by the Tiki Bar.
That's a dope shop. Folks, if you want a dope bookstore that has like mad independent books and, known books as well, but a lot of indie, I fell in love. But yeah, that's a dope store. Thanks for putting me on to that, Mel, for real.
Yeah, I love that store so much. But after New York, I believe we're doing a signing at Atomic Books in Baltimore, and then Easy Street in Seattle in November, and then Olympia, Washington in November. And we're trying to work out a launch event in Portland. But pals don't want us. They don't want me. They don't want me. All the stuff I've done for them, they don't want me.
How dare
I'm not a big enough name for their marquee.
How dare they? How dare
I know.
Snooty. Better stop it. Do you know who the boss is here? Yeah, I don't know. You better recognize this is the new Eminem. Fuck Eminem from Detroit. This is the real Eminem right here, baby. Fuck out of here. All right. So you better say, listen, everybody, this is what I need you to do. This is my big homie, a very talented individual, an amazing writer, sharing a very personal journey. I mean, I'm telling you, like, you're gonna be like, wow, like everything she gone through is crazy to see her here doing what she's doing, celebrating what she's doing. So follow her on social media. This is Melissa Meszaros. I have the links below, of course. And it's the book though. Oil on Water Press. Right there. Song Over the Bones, baby. That is the new book. Pre-order that baby right now. It's dropping in October. All right. ¿Me entiende, mi gente? Get that done right there. But listen, but if you need to know what's popping even before this one, get that Heavy Metal Headbang. Also from Oil Water Press. And I mean, again, what is it about Oil Water Press that you're going to do the second book with them? Because again, I mean, they produce wonderful books. And now that you told me even, I could go even smell the paper like, yeah, old school pulp. I dig it. I dig it. You rock, Mel. You know that, right?
Well, so do you, Al. Come on. You're like the comics guy. Come on. Admit it.
I'm just
Stop with the humbleness.
But I dig it. Mi gente, please follow my big homie. And of course, follow us, Comic Crusaders. You see it right here. You see that logo? That's the realness, baby. The comiccrusaders.com. Everywhere. Got all the links over there. Dope stuff and a lot of stuff that Mel sends over, from Magma, Mad Cave, and a whole lot more, baby. So thank you again for tuning in. And I'm going to show you once again. Like, listen, this is the cover you need to pre-order. It's right there. It's a dope book. Get it now. I'm telling you, y'all going to be digging in. And get the other one, Heavy Metal Headbang. I'm telling you, like, has El Mega ever let you down, mi gente? I'm talking some real shit here. You feel me? So get it done, all right? So with that, I'm out, man. I appreciate everybody. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Much love. Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.